Welcome back to Stoic Wisdom. They say actions speak louder than words, but when it comes to a hug, silence can roar like thunder. A hug is more than two bodies coming together. It's an unspoken conversation, a transfer of energy. And in that moment, how you respond reveals everything about your presence, your power, and your poise. The Stoic man does not chase validation from her embrace. He gives it meaning simply by being. And when done right, she will feel it and never forget it. Here are 8 Stoic secrets to responding to a hug in a way that anchors your presence in her memory. Before a hug even happens, the energy you bring into the moment determines its impact. A Stoic man doesn't stumble into connection. He arrives with intention, grounded in who he is. That grounding is everything. It means you're not seeking validation or approval. You're not anticipating what she might do, say, or feel. You are calm within yourself, unshaken by the external. This calmness isn't just internal. It radiates from you. It's in your posture, your breath, the way you make eye contact, the way you walk toward her without haste or hesitation. All of this builds a silent presence that she will feel even before you lay a hand on her. Women are acutely sensitive to the emotional energy of a man. If you're anxious, overly eager, or unsure, she feels it instantly. But if you walk into her space with calm confidence, relaxed, steady, and composed, it signals something different. It tells her you are a man who knows himself, a man who can carry his own emotions and won't be easily thrown by hers. And in today's world, that kind of masculine energy is rare. So the preparation for a memorable hug doesn't begin in the moment your arms open. It begins in your mind. Before you even meet her. It begins with your breathing, your mindset, and your intention. You are not hugging to prove something. You are simply sharing a moment. That grounded presence tells her everything about your strength without you saying a single word. And when a woman feels the calm gravity of a man's presence before he even touches her, it stays with her. That's the power of being grounded, and it's the kind of experience she doesn't forget. The moment of physical contact during a hug reveals far more than words ever could. It's not about how long the hug lasts or how tightly you hold her. It's about what your energy communicates in that silence. A high-value man understands that touch can be both an invitation and a message. When your arms wrap around her, you're not pulling her in for validation or to fill a void. You're simply present. You're letting her feel your stillness, your steadiness. That alone can shift her emotional state, grounding her in the security of your calm presence. This is where subtlety becomes power. There's no need to grip her tightly or let your hands wander. A firm, respectful, intentional embrace says everything. It communicates boundaries and strength. It tells her you're in control, not of her, but of yourself. Your breathing is, even your posture straight and your heart unguarded but not exposed. That quiet confidence speaks to her subconscious in ways she might not even fully understand, but she'll feel it deeply. In a world full of men who chase, perform, or pretend, the man who simply holds space in silence stands out. When you hug her like this, you're not just physically close. You're emotionally untouchable in the best way. You don't need anything from her in that moment. You're not trying to spark chemistry, impress her, or earn affection. You're just there, grounded, aware, and whole. And paradoxically, that's exactly what leaves the deepest impression. She won't know why the moment lingers in her memory. But it will. Because your energy was pure, intentional, and completely unlike what she's used to. That's how a simple hug becomes unforgettable. Not by force, but by presence. When you respond to a hug with confidence, you radiate something that words can't replicate: certainty. And women are magnetically drawn to certainty. Not arrogance, not boastfulness, but that rare and unshakable steadiness that says, I know who I am. In that brief, silent moment when your bodies are close, your energy speaks volumes. If your shoulders are tense, your hands jittery, or your posture unsure, it sends a message of insecurity. But when your body is calm, posture upright, and energy grounded, it silently announces your self-assurance. Confidence is not loud. It's not about puffing your chest or making a joke during the embrace. It's about quiet power. A woman can feel it when a man is centered in himself. Your silence in that moment says, I don't need to prove anything. I'm enough as I am. That stillness, that rootedness, becomes unforgettable. She might not consciously analyze it, but deep down she recognizes it. She's used to men reacting with eagerness, nervousness, or uncertainty. So when you simply hold the moment, not too long, not too brief, and remain unfazed, you create a contrast that's impossible to ignore. Your calmness is rare, your ease is disarming, and your inner control becomes mysteriously attractive. It tells her you're a man who moves through life with intention, not desperation. And this isn't about being cold or detached. It's about mastering your emotional responses. It's about staying composed even in moments of closeness. That's what Stoicism teaches. Emotional discipline, not emotional suppression. By responding to her hug with composed energy, you show strength without aggression, intimacy without neediness, and presence without attachment. That kind of response doesn't fade from memory. It echoes long after the embrace ends. When you match her energy during a hug, you're not just physically engaging, you're emotionally and psychologically aligning with her in a way that speaks louder than words. This subtle act demonstrates presence and emotional intelligence, two qualities that most women find incredibly attractive, even if they never openly admit it. A hug isn't always about romance or attraction. Sometimes it's about connection, reassurance, or silent communication. If she hugs you softly and you respond with a forceful grip, it creates a mismatch, one that feels off. But when you mirror her pace, pressure, and timing, she feels understood. She feels seen. Matching energy is a delicate art. It doesn't mean overanalyzing or calculating your moves. It means being deeply present. It means paying attention to the rhythm of the moment rather than thinking about what comes next. Stoicism teaches us to be attuned to the present, to see clearly without letting our emotions distort the experience. When you apply this principle to a hug, you're not chasing approval or affection. You're simply engaging in the moment with calm, clear awareness. She might not say anything afterward, but she'll notice. She'll feel that you weren't trying to control or dominate the moment. Instead, you respected it. You flowed with her rather than pushing your own pace. And this makes a lasting impression. It shows maturity. It tells her you're a man who doesn't act from impulse or insecurity, but from intention. Women remember how you make them feel. When a hug feels natural and synchronized, it lingers in her memory. It becomes something she reflects on without even realizing why it mattered. And in a world full of men eager to prove themselves, the man who simply aligns with her energy becomes unforgettable. That's the quiet power of Stoic presence. A well-timed smile during a hug has the power to shift the entire dynamic of the moment. It's not just about flashing your teeth. It's about what that smile communicates. In the silent space of a hug, your facial expression becomes a message. A genuine, calm, and slightly knowing smile shows emotional balance. It signals that you are comfortable, confident, and present without trying too hard. It disarms her without force, creating a connection that is both soft and striking. Most people don't realize how much they say when they're not speaking, and a smile, when timed right, can say everything without saying a word. From a Stoic lens, your smile is not for validation or approval. It is an expression of inner stillness. You're not trying to charm her or manipulate the situation. You're simply allowing your emotional control to be felt. Women pick up on this far more than they admit. A man who smiles from a place of calm certainty creates a unique imprint. He's not performing, he's simply being. And that authenticity leaves a mark. If you smile too soon, it might feel forced. Too late, and it may feel awkward. But when it naturally emerges during or just after a hug, when your energy has already connected with hers, it becomes unforgettable. It assures her that the moment was real, that you weren't detached or overthinking. You were present, you were aligned, and the brilliance of this is that you don't need to explain or follow up. That one look, that one moment does all the talking. She'll carry that smile with her, replaying it in her mind at unexpected times. Not because of what you did, but because of how you made her feel. That is the quiet stoic power of timing and emotional control. Lingering presence after a hug doesn't mean staying physically close. It's about the subtle energy you leave behind. It's the emotional footprint you create. The quiet memory that continues to echo in her mind, even after you've walked away. Most men rush out of a hug, eager to escape the vulnerability or unsure of what to do next. But the Stoic man does the opposite. He allows the moment to breathe. He doesn't scramble to fill the silence or explain how he feels. He lets the experience linger, and in doing so, he becomes unforgettable. This lingering presence comes from groundedness. When you hug her, you do so fully with calm intent. Not grasping, not needy, just present. And when you step back, you don't break eye contact immediately or fidget nervously. You pause. You give her a moment to absorb what just happened. That pause carries weight. It shows control. It shows awareness. And more importantly, it gives her space to feel something she can't quite name but will remember. In Stoicism, power lies in restraint. You don't have to rush in with words or gestures. You don't need to chase her attention. Instead, you master the art of doing less but with precision. A single well-timed look, a slow exhale, a subtle nod, these things speak volumes. And once you walk away, don't look back. Not because you're cold, but because you're confident. You know that if the moment meant something, it will stay with her. Lingering presence is not about leaving a mark out of ego. It's about showing that you were fully there, and that kind of presence lingers far longer than any flashy words or grand gestures. It's subtle, quiet, and incredibly powerful. That's what makes her think of you long after you're gone. Responding to a hug like this doesn't require charm or charisma. It requires presence. It's not about impressing her. It's about being so grounded in who you are that she can't help but remember how she felt in your arms. And long after you've gone, that feeling stays. That's the Stoic advantage.